I know in 2008 we had we were on a really awesome fire in the wilderness in the Shasta Trinity, in the Trinity Alps, and it was a really cool fire. We were at home, and we got a call. They blow horns here at Redding, like they blow horns for the air attack and the air tankers and the smoke jumpers, and then for the crew. So the horns went off for the jumpers, and they took off, and then boom, the horns went off for the crew. And I'm like, oh, cool. So I called down there, and I was like, hey, where are we going? They're like, oh, you're going to an IA on the, in the Alps, in the Trinity Alps, right on the edge. It's right on the edge of the wilderness. I'm like, okay, cool. So we got up there, and that's probably I can come back. That was probably one of the funnest fires I've ever been on. We had just an awesome crew in that year, 2008. They were just an outstanding bunch of people, and it was us on one side and 20 jumpers on the other side, and the jumpers, it was a mixed load of jumpers. It was jumpers from all over. There were some Redding guys in there, and there were a bunch of other jumpers from other bases. And we were at the bottom. We kind of talked. The jumpers had already started going, putting line up one side, and I went down and told the crew, and you're not going to let a bunch of jumpers beat you putting line up the side of this fire, are you? And boy, that really got them pretty motivated. It was fun. We have a really good rapport with the smoke jumpers here at Redding, and so and the crew, they're here working with those guys, and so are we. I mean, we're all here working with those guys all the time. So it was a really fun fire. Ended up we cut line pretty much all day, and then it got into the evening, and then things had kind of settled down. We had it somewhat in check, and then we spiked up there. We spiked up there for 8 days, and it was really awesome. They brought in other crews, and other crews got to work. We worked with a bunch of other crews in there. But that first day, and then being spiked up there, they sent the other crews out, and they left us and the jumpers, and then all the jumpers left, and then it was just us on that fire. And it was really cool. We had a great camp. We had a great view of the Alps, and they were flying in hot cans every once in a while, and then the jumpers left us all their little goodies. So it was one of those good deal fires, that you wish you can get all the time. So yeah, it was about 80 acres. It was a lightning strike that had actually struck down on a pretty, not far down, but quite a ways down on a slope, and then it was a brush timber model. There probably hadn't been fire there in a long time. So the fire made a really, once it got established down there, it made a big push to the top of the ridge, and then it just petered. It threw some spots over the other side. We had helicopters and air tankers working that top, and they'd pretty much knocked that out. And then the biggest thing was just taking care of the flanks. And it was steep. It was nasty. Poison, lots of poison oak in the bottom of the drainage, and then old tall manzanita, and pine overstory, and the crew just, it was good living in there. The fire moved well in that. It was surprising, but yeah, once it made that big push to the top, and we got in there, just kind of laid down and just kind of skunked around a little bit. Once nightfall came in, we got to go in there and do some good work on that.